You don't like me or the show, turn it off. And they want me to apologize. That's not gonna happen.
Alright, so you seem pressed. Not all of you, but some of you seem upset because I said what I said about Kwame Brown. Let me tell you right now.
I don't give up.
I unapologetically don't. La 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 la. I don't care what you guys are dropping down in the comments and making all these negative statements. It doesn't affect me. I'm a real man. I can take it. It is what it is, right? And so, you know, I came on here yesterday and talked about Tasha K and the fans of Kwame, you know, going in on her, saying that she wasn't a credible platform for him to even go on, and that Kwame shouldn't be trusting Tasha K. And so I went into things that I saw about Kwame that's inconsistent. And so I didn't say anything bad about the brother. I just said the things that I didn't like and the things that I questioned. And y'all mad?
I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand.
You see, the problem is some of you are on that brown liquor and you love your Newports, right? And so your mind is all cloudy, it's foggy. And then on top of that, you've been sitting at the table, sitting at Kwame's table, getting that mama's cooking. And you know that mama's cooking can be salty. Listen, come jog with me through this commentary so we can sweat out, you know, all those toxins, right? Get your blood pressure down, get that cholesterol back in order. So one of the premier questions that I kept seeing in the comments was, you know, everybody's inconsistent. Name one person that's not inconsistent. Well, let's talk about what we're inconsistent about. Some people are inconsistent with remembering to get things from the grocery store without writing down a grocery list. Some people are even inconsistent with telling stories. You know, there's a situation that may have happened to them back in the days, like that uncle or that aunt, and every time they tell that story, it seems that the story changes. Whether it's the time, the place, or who they were with, the overall events that happened on that particular day seems to change from story to story. Some people are inconsistent with working out. You have some people that are inconsistent with not eating the right foods after they promised themselves that they were going to do better. How many of y'all have set a New Year's resolution and you did good for about a couple of weeks, but you backslid and you went back to your old habits, right? And not to kick any shade towards Kwame, the brother was just inconsistent when it came to playing basketball. Now, does that mean that Kwame failed at life? Absolutely not. There's more important things in your life than a game. He has a family, he has kids and things of that nature. Absolutely not. And on top of that, this brother made $64 million being mediocre at his job. Now, I know a lot of you brown liquor drinking and Newport smoking individuals are going to be like, how dare you call Kwame mediocre? This is the thing. Y'all gonna say he's not mediocre, he made $64 million, and rightfully so. But what you fail to realize is that I'm not saying that Kwame's money is mediocre, I'm saying that his talent was mediocre. There's a difference, right? Now, let me get back on track. So I talked about the fact that I said that Kwame was inconsistent, and I talked about inconsistencies that people face on a day-to-day basis, right? The one thing as a melanated man that you can't be inconsistent about is protecting women that have the same hue as you do. You can't be inconsistent about that. And that's just my opinion, right? Now, he may have, well, it's very clear that he has a different ideology than I do. And maybe his focus is not to protect his own. But when you come out and you talk about Brianna in the fashion that he did, and you have people in the comments saying it was disrespectful what he said about Brianna, but it was the truth.
Seriously, what the f are you doing?
So let me get this straight. y'all are saying that what he said about Brianna was disrespectful, but it was the truth. So basically, in a nutshell, Kwame said that Brianna deserved everything that she got. And some of y'all are okay with that because he's producing his mama's cooking and you fell in love with his roasting over the fact that his ideology says that I really don't care about women that look like me or have the same hue as I do.
Hold on, let me get my glasses on so I can see it. What is that? Oh, it's a...
You know, the one thing that I found out about my people, and it took me some time to realize this, is that when something happens to one of our own and it's a negative situation, we're so quick to offend than to defend. Let me say it once again for the people in the back. We're so quick to offend our own people rather than to come to their rescue and look for a way to defend them if it's a way to defend them. And sometimes defending your people just simply means keeping your mouth shut and don't say anything. You can think how you think, you can feel how you feel about the situation, whether it agrees with the popular narrative or whether it goes against the popular narrative. It doesn't matter. Sometimes just keep your mouth shut because that's what other cultures do. Other cultures are quick to defend their own rather than to offend their own. Let me say that again. Other cultures are quick to defend their own, even in their wrong, than to offend their own. And it's just sad. I'm just keeping it all the way 100. Now, I know some of y'all are going to drop down in the comments and say, well, you're doing the same thing to Kwame. You're offending him right now. If you check the receipts, I did a video in regards to him about 2 to 3 weeks ago when I was defending Kwame until I sat back and I watched the party and saw what it turned to. It turned into a roasting show. It turned into, oh, I'm internet famous now. Let me wake up in the morning, right? Roast the people who disrespected me in the past. I'm going to say the same things about these particular individuals that I've been saying each and every day. But hey, my fans love it. I'm gaining subscribers and I'm internet famous now. And so that's what it turned into, because when he says that he wants to work with kids within our community and uplift them and put them in a position to be better, how are you setting the example by holding grudges with other people, with other men that have the same hue as you do? You know, kids are watching this. You don't think that they have phones? You don't think that they have access to the internet? You don't think that they see what's going on here? How are you setting that example by getting on your platform and, you know, basically not showing them how to work and how to maneuver through beef, how to maneuver through adversity when you're dealing with your own, right? No, the very go along, get along game that Kwame talks about often, right? That exists when it comes to people who criticize him. He's done created one himself. And basically he doesn't want to stop. He doesn't want to mend those, you know, broken relationships, you know, with people who disrespected him. Well, not broken relationships, but he doesn't want to, you know, have peace, because peace doesn't get you subscribers. Peace doesn't get you notoriety on the internet, right? Because all of this could have been over a long time ago, but Kwame doesn't want it to be over because he has a newfound fan base, right? And so basically he has this fan base and he wants to drag this out because honestly, and I'm just keeping it real, I think that this is really nurturing his soul because he didn't get this amount of attention in the NBA. And what I mean by the attention that he lacked when he played in the NBA is the fact that he didn't play up to par. Therefore, he didn't have the fans. Here on YouTube, right, with him roasting and giving everybody his mama's cooking, what's happening is Kwame's gotten the fan base finally that he never had. And honestly, I'm happy for that brother because I'm pretty sure that it's done a great thing for his mental health. Because, you know, when you're being dragged, you know, throughout the media for 20 years as being a bust and people always using you as an example, telling kids at colleges like Stephen A did, you know, not to end up like Kwame, I can understand that this brother's psychological stability could just be wearing on him just a bit. So I'm happy that he's found this fan base. That's not my gripe with him, okay? Now, I want to focus on this other comment that I saw in regards to the video that I did last night. There were a lot of people saying that Kwame has accepted the bust life. I was wrong about my commentary. He's not mad at people calling him a bust. So what is he mad for? I mean, come on. He's explained to you why he is not a bust. So it has to or had to affect him in a negative way psychologically. So he is upset that people have been calling him a bust for all of these years, because he's went out his way to prove that he's not a bust and to give you reasons why he's not a bust. And so one of the great ways to embrace a certain perception about you is to embrace it, basically. You know, if somebody said something about you, or there's this rumor about you around town, or, you know, there's a certain perception of you, you know, what people do nowadays is go make that t-shirt. I'm gonna make some money off of it. You know, this is what they say about me. And it's kind of a way to actually nurture the hurt, in my opinion, to actually, you know, soften the blow to your ego, to your self-esteem, is to create something that people say about you and to actually push it out there and own it. That's what people do nowadays. And that's no different than what Kwame has done. Here in this situation, he embraced it and he turned it into a brand. Now, just because he's embraced being a bust publicly doesn't mean that he's accepted it privately. Let me say that once again for the people in the back. Just because he embraced being a bust publicly does not mean that he embraced being a bust privately. Okay? There's a difference, right? Like I said, when people have this perception about you, what people normally like to see you do is come out and accept it. If you accept it and you roll with the punches, they will uplift you. And in this case, this is what has happened to Kwame. They've uplifted Kwame, and rightfully so. All right? Now, the fact that, you know, him being called a bust all these years, yeah, I'm pretty sure that he's dealt with some dark nights privately. And those dark nights have propelled him to go at people in the way that he's going at them, because everything that he was experiencing for 20 years, you know, people talking about him, disrespecting his name, you know, it built up. And so that's why I can tell you that y'all think that he's embraced this thing, that he feels this way. He doesn't feel that way. I honestly feel that Kwame wishes that he would have played better basketball. And besides the money that he's made, deep down inside, he's hurt that he didn't produce better, you know, he didn't produce a better product on the basketball court. You know, I truly believe that. You know, he's just like you, me, and anybody else, right? We've done things in life that we weren't that good at and we wish that we were better at, right? So what makes Kwame any different? You don't think that this brother wished that he actually averaged 20, 10, and 5 a game? Come on, man. Who wouldn't? He was the #1 pick. So I get it. A lot of people like to see the underdog win. And this is the situation with Kwame. He's been an underdog for quite some time. And I root for the underdog. But I can root for the underdog and also call out the BS at the same time. And that's what I'm doing. I don't like the fact that he's giving Candace Owens props.
Ho, what is this?
And I'm definitely against what he said about BT. And his ideology to always criticize our own people instead of finding fault in other people that led to the plight of our people is just disheartening. And to be honest, he sounds like he has the same morals and values of a 45, just keeping it all the way 100. Now, I want to get to Tasha K. So Tasha K, she basically, I guess, went live. I don't know if it was before. I believe she went before she met with Kwame for his interview last night and after the fact. And basically her fans were asking her about where is Kwame. If I'm not mistaken, Tasha K was a little bit, you know, she was blushing a little bit over that question. I don't know where Kwame is. I guess he's somewhere with his wife.
Baby be this cute.
Look at you.
So when I saw the video, I'm not going to play it here. I'm pretty sure you can go on her channel and find it. It was sent to me. But basically, she looked like she got a little worked up when her fans asked her about where was Kwame. And she's standing there in that yellow, and I mean yellow. I'm from North Carolina. I can say yellow, but she's standing there in that yellow apron, cheesing, you know, and like the old folks say, trying to coat. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember that saying? Look at Jacqueline. She out there coating. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just throw a hairnet on Tasha K and she looks like she could have been somebody's worker in the school cafeteria. I'm just keeping it all the way real. But she did appear to be a little giggly in the video when she was asked about where was Kwame. And so the interview must went well. You know, she was cheesing and he was smiling and, you know, and things like that. And basically, I'm pretty sure it did, because Kwame is a man and she doesn't challenge the men. She didn't challenge Kevin Samuels, nor do I think that she challenged Kwame. Do you guys think that she asked Kwame about his commentary in regards to BT? I don't think so. Basically, it was all about the roasting, probably talked about his childhood and things like that. But she didn't ask him no in-depth questions. And if she did, she didn't ask him about BT. I bet you she didn't. Because why? She disrespected Jaguar on her platform, right? But she didn't disrespect anybody else, especially when it comes to a man. And Kevin Samuels could have been asked some harder questions. And there's some questions that are to be asked in regards to Kwame and the things that he said in his past. But I don't think that she basically asked those questions. Nope, not at all. But anyway, I'm gonna let this go and let y'all have at it in the comments. Drop down and let me know what you think about this whole entire video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll get with you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.